Welcome to the Dibley Diaries for this week. This week we're thinking about the end of John chapter 6, where Jesus says that people who eat this bread will live forever. People who eat this bread will live forever. Now, I'm an 80s child, and if you want to say I want to live forever, a bit of me wants to continue singing along the theme tune to Fame. I want to live forever. I want to learn how to fly high. However, in the countryside, I've talked about this before, there is a different sense of time and a different sense of how long things might take and how long your actions might have an impact for. So I'm thinking about all those people who do things that like plant avenues of trees. They are never going to see become splendid in their lifetime, but we are always grateful that they have. I'm thinking about people who gave a substantial amount of money quite some time ago, and in some cases that money is still used for its purpose that it was intended for. So we had, one of the places I work, we had a bequest given in 1708, and we still use that money to buy books for the school leavers from that primary school, which was founded in that year. I know it's a very early one. How are things going to be a legacy for people? What are people going to do in the countryside? Are you going to plant a yew hedge? People planted yew hedges around our churches hundreds of years ago, and they are still things which we remember today. We still have epitaphs, we still have things which say about something, and I had one in one of the churches I worked in where it said this person died in 1560, aged 80 years. And I'm thinking, wow, that's such a long connection for that person to still be remembered in a building, in the village building, where people just come and worship and pray as they did all those centuries ago. So in the countryside, what we do can last for a long, long time. It's not an aim for us to live forever, but actually when we are doing things in the countryside, our actions may have implications for a long time. And so it's important for us to think about whether those actions are for good and what they will mean for generations to come. Thought for the week is about Jesus saying that feeding on Jesus will bring eternal life. And what do we think about eternal life? How is eternal life important to us? What is the theology of it? We might not want to live forever as humans. Our bodies are time limited. But what we do believe as Christians is that we are created individually. It's not reincarnation for us. We are created individually by God to be eternal beings. I spent quite a lot of time trying to work on this and think about this. When I was first ordained, I was a curate. I was doing a lot of funerals, sometimes 3 a week, hopefully not more than 1 a day. But I had time driving to and from the crematorium to think about what were we saying, what did we believe, what were we understanding about eternal life. Now, we can't understand all the details of eternal life because it's eternity and we are only finite. We can't understand it because it's eternity and we are only finite. We know that our time here must be important, otherwise why would God have bothered? Why would he have bothered making us as eternal beings, but with this time that we spend here on earth? So what we do here is important. It's about loving, it's about learning, it's about growing, it's about all those sorts of things. So what we do here must be important, but God has made us each individually to be eternal. And that's something which is really difficult for us to understand because we can't understand eternity, but it's something that we need to try to come to terms with, especially as we get older, but even when we're younger. It affects how we live our lives when we understand our lives in that perspective. So eternity is a really difficult thing to understand. The only person who's died and come back, as we understand it, is Jesus. He did talk about it. He made promises about it. And And then we have the revelations from John as well, about a bit more about what that might be like, but that's one person's vision of heaven. Jesus says some other things about what heaven is like. So it's something that we each as individuals need to think about and prepare ourselves for. So we are living here now. What is now is really important, but God made us for now and eternity. And how we can get our heads around that as best we can is a really important thing for us to do. The Dibley moment for this week is about a place where I used to work, where we had a particular grave, and it was quite a sad story actually. So there was somebody who in that place wanted his wife not to be able to dance on his grave. So his journey into eternity was marked by him building a pyramid on the top of the grave site so that his wife would not be able to dance on the grave. So quite a sad story, but it did explain why in one of the church buildings I had one of the few outside listed ancient monument pyramids in the UK. That's it for the Dibley Diaries for this week. I pray that you and your village, however large or small, have a really blessed week, and where you can think about what living forever means for you.